We have Yemi Kosoko from Jos. Yemi, what's happening today? Election still going on or it's over?
Oh, election is still going on in about some parts of 9 local government areas.
9?
There are some wards that elections couldn't hold yesterday, and the various local government areas are Kanam, Basa, part of Jos East, part of Jos North, Basi, Kanke, Lantan South, Mangu, and Riom. That's about 9. And according to the INEC official, it says late arrival of materials yesterday and the difficult terrain, as well as lack of network to get in touch with the officials in those local government areas who are responsible for the shifting of the elections till today, which is Sunday. So while elections are still going on in those areas, there are collisions of results in some other areas. For instance, in the Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency, coalition is going on, while the Plateau North Senatorial District Coalition Center is also going on in the Jos North local government area. That is the situation so far, as we are waiting that after elections of today, then coalition of results will be coming in.
What about, you mentioned Kanke, Basa, Mangu, Riom. I'm particularly interested in the Riom local government area because I know that that has always been a flashpoint. As a matter of fact, herdsmen have attacked and killed people there, and it keeps recurring time and again. And at some point, students were also affected. I'm getting information also that possibly students from Government College Riom, as well as Science Kukuru, those are places that are very close to that area. How has the security been, knowing that the terrain there is full of mountains and big fields?
Well, no doubt about it. It's a mountainous area, and particularly that is an area where the STF have been able to also have their attention in. You remember a few days ago there was this route march, so to say, that the military, a combination of the military, the Air Force, Navy, the Civil Defense, the police, that's a joint force under the STF, and they are manning that area. And I'm sure those that have been posted to that area, there is security for election to take place. It's one of the places that the difficult terrain affected materials not to arrive there early enough yesterday, so the elections just have to be postponed till today.
But has there been any announcement of any results where you are?
So far, none yet. None yet. I was in Jos South for the Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency. They are still collecting the results. And I'm also at the Plateau North Senatorial District, where out of 6 local government areas, but that area that comprises Jos North for the senatorial election. And in that area, we have Jos North, Jos South, Jos East, Riom, Barikinladi, and Basa. Only in Jos North, which there are 14 words, only 4 words have been, the results have been collected so far. So we are still waiting for 10 words from Jos North alone, thereby leaving other local governments that their results have not come in yet. So if you look at that, we are going to stay throughout the night to see that the results are in before any announcement of results can come in.
Wow, throughout the night. But he's got his work cut out for him. Well, thank you very much indeed, Yemi.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, let's move over to Ine Thompson. We're speaking about the social media whole stream. Let's see what else they are saying now on social media. Hello, Ine.
Hello, Chamberlain. Well, people are saying people are talking, and we're here to bring them to you. We'll start with the tweets, and the first tweet is from Oyewole Michael. He says, ChannelsTV is really making sense with the 24-hour news updates on elections, and he's particularly happy with the balanced age in guests invited. Like you remember, just about an hour ago, we had the discussion on the youth, and we had the younger generation also on the program, so it's not just about the more mature people. The next tweet is from Deborah Ekechukwu. And Deborah is saying that the situation in Rivers State is very tense. We had Emmanuel Ere from our correspondent to Rivers State giving us updates, and he will also still give us more updates on that situation. And the next one is Election Monitor saying that presently collation is still on at Isheri Grammar School, Isheri Kosoko, local government area of Lagos, and this was at 3:40 p.m. We move on to Akombi Muideen, who says that this election has been wonderful, and for me it is the best after the 1993 elections. And then we leave the Twitter and go to the mails. We have an elaborate mail from the South Youth Forum in the United Kingdom, and they say that they would like to make the following known. They are totally impressed with the overall conduct of the election across the country. They would like to commend Nigerians, both old and young, for their immense contribution. They would like to commend the security agency. They would like to encourage everyone to wait patiently. Talking about the results, I mean, I guess in the studio they talk about social media is buzzing with different results. They're asking us to wait patiently for INEC to make that announcement. Well, we'll move away to that and also bring you another mail saying, this is from Akwa Ibom State, Eket in Akwa Ibom State. Francis Emeni says, I was impressed with the level of maturity that young Nigerians showcased during the voting process yesterday. At my polling unit, there was no issues with the card reader. The card reader worked perfectly, although we had minor issues where some voters struggled to vote first because they came before the others. Well, that's from Eket in Akwa Ibom State. And then we move over to the pictures you sent to us on our Eyewitness platform. We start with Kaduna State yesterday. We have a picture of a keke napep. Was used to convey some ballot papers, and they were being counted, and as you can see, it was in the night, but there's provision for light. I mean, like we've been discussing since morning, I mean, a lot of people were really determined to see the end of it. And then we move over to Ondo State. We have a picture that's going to come up soon from Ondo State, waiting for accreditation. Of course, that was from yesterday. Or beg your pardon, that was from today, 3 p.m. today. Waiting for accreditation, queue during voting, and eventually the voting took place, coming from Ondo State, Akure in Ondo State to be precise. And then we move over to Rivers State. Well, like we had a mail earlier, a picture was sent to us, leaders of the APC protesting at INEC office in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. That seems to be one of the hot stories going on now. So we also have a picture that was sent to us. And then we go to Delta State, where a picture was sent to us showing the voting process in Patani, Ward 8, Turu, Akpelebiri unit in Delta State. Well, that's all we have for you for now. Of course, we have more coming your way as the program progresses. Back to you, Chamberlain.
Thank you, Winnie, and we'll be glad to bring them to the people. So just keep them coming through to us. The pictures, the text, your email, bring them all. Well, let's wrap up with this point. I mean, we tell public officials when some of them are foot dragging about coming on any of our programs here to just let the public know, explain about certain policies that nature abhors vacuum. If you leave a vacuum, somebody will fill it. Now, speaking about announcing results. Now, here we are, results, elections concluded in some areas, voting going on in some others. And then, between that period, many are waiting for the results for the commission. Yes, the Electoral Act says you can announce at the polling unit, but this one, the big one, has to be by INEC. And so the question pops up, what's wrong with decentralizing announcing those results? If it finishes in those states or zones, why can't somebody just direct there announce those results?
You support that?
Yeah, I would support that, because that would then diffuse some of the tension, the anxiety that is now leading to all the false reports on social media. If, for instance, okay, so Lagos State wasn't conclusive, obviously, since there were some places that where elections did not hold. But I'm sure there are states around the country where elections were concluded yesterday and there was no carryover to today. I don't see any reason why the resident electoral commissioner would not announce the result. It shouldn't take forever to collate and announce result, especially now that we are going the e-process, the electronic process. It should be easy to just collate electronically, automatically, either way, so that by the end of the day, at least by now, the day after the election, we should have some ideas of how the parties, the candidates did in the states where elections had concluded yesterday.
Malaki, you subscribe to that too?
In other developed climes or democracies, remember US specifically, the elections were not entirely concluded before some of the losers, began to concede and congratulate the prospective victors. And so it could be encouraged. But let's deal with the situation at the moment. The law recognizes and then accepts the fact that the returning officers can announce the result in the particular ward where the elections took place. Indeed, it is expected that the result is declared. But that will not be the ultimate or final result. As we saw your correspondent in Abuja, I think it's Lasisi, who was already, presenting to the world where the final results will be announced. At the moment, these are all mechanisms put in place because of our own peculiar experiences. Before now, the activities on the social media is not as robust as you have it presently. And this has also thrown up some challenges. In the
Would that have been a plus if INEC was able to achieve decentralized announcing of results, especially for states?
Surely that will even lead me to the argument of do we need one single independent electoral body?
That's a big question.
Just as
we'll carry the question over for the next segment. We'll have to thank you all for coming. Malaki Goma, the legal practitioner, and then Professor Patience Akwanobon, political scientist, Arizona State University. Both of them, Channels TV's consultants. Thank you all for coming today.
Thank you.
Well, we'll be back and continue our focus here, Nigeria 2015. Our continuing coverage on the elections continues when we return. Join us again.